What's going on, guys? This is the Godfather here, and today we're going to be taking a look at Frostpunk. This is a really interesting take on the steampunk, themed era, and it's a very brutal city building game. Now, those are two genres of games that really don't blend together well unless you do it right. The folks over there at 11-Bit Studios who put together Frostpunk, now they did it right. So let's go ahead and jump into this. I think we are going to start off with the new Endless mode that they just added in a day or two ago. So we're going to go ahead and get this started. Endurance, we could do this if you guys want to see it. I was going to see just how good the endless mode is, because I really haven't played hardly any of it except for the first few days. So this game is known for being a little brutal, so I think we're just going to kind of see how it is, feel the waters a little bit, and if you guys want to see the endurance, please let me know. Now we've got a couple different maps that they've got, like crags. We could do all of these rocks kind of get in the way. I did play this map for about 15 days. Now all of these rocks do present a pretty difficult time building and planning out your city, because your city is like kind of concentrically centered around the generator, which is your source of life and source of heat. The generator dies, your city dies, so it is your number one priority. But everything does tend to get kind of disjointed as you move towards the outside of the rim. So let's look at the other ones. Now Canyon looks really interesting, because here you kind of have to rely on these secondary steam hubs that you've got to build. And you can build these like main roads out here this way. You can have a steam hub, and you can build it here, and it'll heat a small area, kind of like the generator will, but just a lot smaller and a little bit more inefficient. Now, or we could do flats. This one is just kind of like a really big city where you can just plan everything and expand where you want to go and do whatever the heck you want to do. Now, I really wanted to play on this one because I love getting a huge city kind of massed together. Or we could do this crater. This is just kind of like your average starting area. If you played the a new home scenario, this is pretty much what you're dealing with there. Might be a hair smaller than the a new home scenario though. And that's it. I think we're going to start off on flats. And it says the resources may be far away, but I am more than content to build some roads out there. So I think we're just going to leave everything here. And let's go ahead and get started. So I'm so excited to start this new endless mode, because I love the conflict the conflict of morality in this game, and I really cannot wait to see what kind of decisions that they throw towards us. Because especially in like a new home or any of the other scenarios, like specifically the refugees, or don't even get me started on the fall of winter home. Just exactly how you go about, keeping the city alive and doing what you have to do. It really does kind of throw you through a loop, like, man, what am I supposed to do? Alright, so it looks like we're loading in here, and there is our generator. Alright, so let's just pause this real quick. Oh, so we can name our city. Alright, there's only one name I can think of right now, and it's a dank meme in itself. Yep, that's perfect. So we have 105 people that need shelter. So this is a huge crater. Alright, so we've got... Oh, there's a coal deposit right here. So we can actually build a coal mine. That's pretty close. What do we got here? Some steel wreckage. Oh, those are some trees. Coal pile, coal pile. Alright. That's steel for steel mill. Plenty of trees on the outsides. So we've got coal deposit, more coal mines over there. Wood crates, coal pile. Let's see, we got another coal pile. And build a gathering post over there, pick all that up. Steel, wood, steel. And we got steel and wood. So I'm going to build a gathering post. There's some coal there too. Yeah, this is getting a gathering post, and so is that. So let's go over to resources, grab the gathering post. Alright, and there we can collect everything, so that's going to happen. And we're going to, you have to connect everything on the road to the generator. And we're going to build another one. So can we get away with, yep, we can get away with that there. I'm going to build a road. There, I don't want to go straight to the generator because I kind of want to build a bunch of tents around here. So you have a lot of people to house. Alright, so let's get some tents started. So we've got 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 people housed. We're gonna have to fix the rest of that though. Alright, so 8 o'clock's whenever the normal workday starts. They're gonna start building these roads out here. I think we'll turn the generator on whenever we get to night. That's kind of whenever the temperatures do dip a little bit. So you can just kind of see them. I'm going to slow this down a little bit. This game is gorgeous. Wish you could just zoom in a little bit farther. But just look at them just trudging through the snow, building this. You can see them all carrying their little lanterns and stuff. They're just step by step building this road all the way out here. Gosh, this game's gorgeous. Look at them. You can see them making their own trail. Like right here, the guy's just pushing through the snow right there. I don't know where the hell they're going. They're not just following the road. But boy, is this game gorgeous. They got this one finished, so we're just going to go ahead and throw some workers in there and get that started. Easy, guys. Alright, I guess we're going to turn this back up. So we've already got resources coming in. Wood's going to be our #1 thing that we need to get ASAP. Because you really need wood to build a lot of early game structures. More than steel. So I could tend to focus on lumber before I focus on anything else. Alright, so that one's finished. Gonna go ahead and get that started. If there's any wood laying around, I might just assign some people to the pile. Yeah, so right here, I think I'm gonna assign that many people. Now you have to pay attention to the temperature gauge here. So since they're kind of working just out in the elements themselves, just by themselves with no protection, you're getting a temperature ill of chili. Now you can get sick at chili. It's a fairly low risk, but it still can happen. Now if you come over here to the gathering post, even though they're gathering all this stuff, they have this, the work hut to kind of work out of. So this is actually livable, and the risk of getting sick is almost non-existent. And the gathering post does tend to be a little bit more efficient. So like here you're getting 1.4 wood per hour. Oh, I guess it's not. You get 6 wood per hour, but I guess you kind of risk your workers getting sick. So, kind of a trade-off that you need to decide to make on your own. But we're going on here. I mean, look, they just finished building the tents and they've got all this snow on them. You can see this. You can see the snow just kind of settling in here around the generator. That's gonna change as soon as we turn this on, though. All right, so we got 2 more tents to build. All right, and we are going to turn the generator on to steam level 1. So the generator is now on. Let's see if we can watch it fire up. Get in real close. And there it goes. It just lurches to life. It's built, it's burning the coal and heating everything. You can see all of the snow just melted from around here. See all the snow's going away from all the buildings? That right there is a good livable zone. So you want to keep the housing sections as warm as possible, because especially during the night, that's when most of your people do get sick. Okay, so they really need to get these finished. Should be finished pretty quick. So I do need to get some hunters' huts. Next thing I need to build is a cookhouse, but I need more wood. Probably shouldn't have built that many tents all of a sudden. Is there any wood crates laying around over here? Coal. More wood crates. I'm just going to assign some more workers there. And whenever we get started. So right now they're in free time. So this is pretty much the time of day that you want to do your constructing. Because say you're doing your constructing in the middle of the work time, whereas if you're building a building, for example, during work time, and you don't have enough idle workers, they will stop doing their job here and they will go and build. And you need them to be in their job producing for the city. So you do want to build at this time of day because nobody's at work, and they will build, I believe, from 1,800 hours to about 2,200 hours, and then they do absolutely nothing until 500, and then you start going from there. So we're just going to kind of advance through the night here. There's not really a whole lot. There's almost nothing we can do. So we're just going to kind of 3-speed it all the way through. Oh, I didn't mean to click on that. Now there are pieces that you can, or there are laws that you can sign in the book of laws, especially in the adaptation. Now if you start here, you can sign the emergency shift law, to where you force workers to work in any facility for the next 24 hours. Now this can be a lifesaver, but using the emergency shift will raise discontent. So if we go and look at the discontent bar, right now we have absolutely nothing. The higher the discontent bar gets, the more issues you're going to run into. Now if hope falls to 0, you essentially lose the game. Or they'll actually start rioting, essentially. And at that point you might as well just start over. So we're going to go ahead and head to the book of laws. I don't want to sign this now because I don't need it. Now we've got a bunch of different ways to go. Like essentially this way will raise hope in some instances. Like we could build a fighting arena. That's usually a all-around good idea. Now here we can add food additives to the food that we're making to kind of make our meals stretch farther. But they will be very upset if they find out we're doing that. Or we could make soup, and we could thin our food down with a bunch of water and make it stretch real far, but hope will fall slightly and discontent will rise slightly, and people will be unhappy eating soup. So maybe that's not the best way to go. Now, here I usually don't do child labor because at least in the early game it can be very tempting because you don't have that many workers. So I tend to go with our child shelters because if you go with this route in the next one, you can get a new law to where you can either have them work as medic apprentices or engineer apprentices. Now, medic apprentices will help your what are they called? Your infirmaries and whatnot heal. I think it's like 15% faster. And then the engineer apprentices helps your engineering. I believe it's right around 15% faster. So I do tend to build the child shelters, and it really does help in the later game. And plus, it raises your hope insanely the very first little bit, which can be a huge help. But child shelters are a little expensive to build. They already take 20 wood and 5 steel, and we just don't have that right now. Now, we have 3 days pretty much to build a child shelter, which should be plenty of time to get all those resources. Alright, so you can see our workers just trudging out to the wood. You can even, they've even got like a little barrel that's burning there to kind of keep warm. I didn't even notice that. I've played this game a whole bunch and I didn't even notice that they had a little burn barrel there. You know, the amount of effort that the devs put into this is just insane. Like, every little bit is animated, detail is everywhere. Like, if you were to just kind of examine this entire part here, you can just see so much detail in every little facet of everything. It's so gorgeous. Alright, so we've got plenty of wood, but I do want to wait until the workday is over before I start building anything. I mean, we do have pretty much 40 people unemployed, so we could start building some stuff. We just don't want to build too much. So I want to build a hunter's hut. Now, hunter's huts are not affected by heat pretty much, so I'm going to start building a hunter's hut. Hell, we'll build it out here. So we'll just start off with one, and we're going to connect the road. And then we need to build a cookhouse. Now, the cookhouse, unlike the hunter's hut over here, is affected by heat. So if it is too cold, it will not work. So you do want to keep this close to the generator. But right now, with our temperature, it's going to work pretty much all the time. So we're going to build that, and then we're going to let that stuff get finished before we start building anything else. So we still have 5 people unsheltered. Let's build another tent. Now this is going to kind of be a little sucky because this guy is going to be outside of the generator's heat zone. Now you can look at the generator's heat zone right here. Now it's pretty much only heating this first ring of buildings. Now you can upgrade it later to get a larger radius, but it does use a lot more coal. Alright, so now, I totally forgot. We need to get on this super quick. We need to start building some workshops. These workshops, they are where you research everything. Now, they do have a pretty high, resource cost. So in the early game, you can't really rush stuff because you do have a lot of building to do. But the late game technologies that you get from these buildings is just so helpful. So helpful. Now we're going to get these 2 finished. I think we'll build the child shelter tomorrow. Now you do have to man these workshops with your engineers specifically. Now engineers, they man all of the more advanced buildings that the workers cannot. So we're just going to fill both of these up. And we're going to grab a new research. So here I always tend to start off, we already have the beacon unlocked, so let's go to resources. Let's get faster gathering because that's basically what we're going to be doing for the for the main part of this right now. So we're going to get faster gathering. We can cite a new law. So let's go to adaptation. And I mean, we could sign soup and make our food stretch a little farther, but I don't want to do that until we absolutely have to, because just eating soup for so long will just, they will be so upset about that. So I actually want to get medic apprentices, even though we don't have any health posts yet. I'm gonna build one, and it's gonna work. I think it's gonna work 15% better. I'll have to check that. The medical post. Let's see. The medical post is also affected by heat, so you want to keep it as close to the generator as possible. So we're going to go ahead and build that here, and we're going to stretch this road. I wonder if they're going to start building this now, or if they're going to build it in the morning. Nope, they're building it now. That's nice. As soon as it finishes. Yep, so we've already got one person sick. Now there's two types of sickness in this game. You've got the normal sick, and then you've got the gravely ill. The normal sick is essentially the people have got a cold, and they're, you know, coughing and sneezing and that kind of stuff. Or then you've got the gravely ill people, and they are the ones that are suffering from frostbite, pneumonia, that kind of stuff that is actually life-threatening. And medical posts cannot treat gravely ill people, and you have to go further into our book of laws here, and you can either decide to sustain their life, which is just, they essentially take up a bed and they are just taken care of until you can figure out something else to do, or radical treatment, where you can do everything you can to cure the gravely ill, but 30% of them will be turned into amputees. Now, amputees, until you figure out how to make prosthetics, will not be able to do anything, and they will just take up spots in your medical posts. Or there's another building that you can build. It's called the care house, where people like that will, you know, reside. So these guys are going to start working on research here as soon as work time comes around. So we're just going to kind of, you know, bang on real quick. I think we're going to get the child shelter built. Now, this is kind of an awkwardly sized building. So I think I'm going to put it here. And we're going to build this road right behind it. And we're going to continue on. I do need to get some scouts, right? Oh, we've totally forgot to man the hunter's hut. Now, it's not going to be working at peak efficiency here. We're only getting 10 raw food per day. So since we built the care house, the child shelter is ready, and the children are safe inside, people can work without worrying something will happen to their kids. Hope rises. So hope rose actually a pretty darn good amount. So let's see where everybody is working. Got a bunch of workers. So I think I'm going to steal five workers from here and throw them into the hunter site, because we need the food we're going to need food more than wood here soon. We've actually already got 2 hungry people. But we've got plenty of food rations. I don't know what the hell they're hungry for. So let's see what else we have. Oh, our research is just about finished. And so if you look at your weather forecast here, we actually have a temperature drop 1 level coming up in pretty much a day and a half. So right here, if you go to the temperature gauge, everything is comfortable. Everything that is red is comfortable, and everything that is yellow is pretty much livable. Now, whenever the temperature drops, everything that's comfortable is going to turn livable, which is not a big deal. But everything that's livable is going to turn chilly. Now, that's not a huge deal, but the tent here the people living in that tent are going to essentially get sick a whole lot faster. And I believe the cookhouse will not work if it's chilly. Or I think it'll work if it's chilly. It won't work if it's cold. I think that's the case. So here we pretty much have everything, all of the first tier tech except for heaters and hunter's gear. So I think we're going to grab hunter's gear, and it's just going to pretty much increase the amount of food we bring back. And so we're just going to keep going. And now I do want to get some mines and some sawmills started. You see here, we already have an event. Now this is kind of like the main vessel that the game uses to tell its story through, and it does get very interesting the longer you play through the game. So here we've got a note of thanks. We just wanted to thank you back in London. It was only the wealthy that didn't have to send their kids to work. In this new world you're creating, we can see things will be different. So that was the right thing to do. See, since we made the decision, and it was essentially a better decision to make than the child labor, the city is going to be happier overall for that. So you will just kind of get like little boosts to hope every now and then. Now it's not a lot, but that does, build up over time, because there are a lot of events that hope will fall. So I think so far we're doing alright. I do want to build a sawmill. And since this is we don't really have any trees over here, I think we'll just kind of start clearing out this section right here. I don't care if we cover up some trees. There's a lot of trees to cut down over here. So I think we'll start here, build that, and then kind of in the middle of the forest there. And I'm going to build a road all the way down. A lot of wood. I mean, this sawmill is going to produce so much wood, it's nuts. So those wood crates are gone, so we just freed up 15 workers. So I think we're going to kind of max out these guys. We're going to need more food. We're running out of food. I need to get on another hunter's hut ASAP. So that is going to go in there. Grab the road. Let's go all the way out to here. And as soon as that gets done, I'm going to have to find 15, or I'm going to find an extra 5 workers, probably from this wood crates pile. There's only 17 left anyways, and then these guys, they're going to be hunters. So I don't know why there's 19 hungry people. We have 73 food rations. I don't know why y'all aren't just eating anything. Alright, so we're just going to throw that in there. Take away 5. And then throw the rest of you guys in here. And we're just going to keep going. At least we're alive. Not everyone's so lucky. Yep, that's totally true. Yep, we do have a lot of work we need to get done. So get your asses moving. Alright, so let's grab the sawmill. Oh, I don't want to grab the trees. I want to grab the sawmill. And, well, we've only got 10 free engineers, so we're going to throw those guys in there. Have them start working. Research is coming along quite nice. Hunter's gear should be done soon. And let's just fast forward a little bit. Got a lot of resources we need to gather. Food is getting super low. I'm actually starting to get a little worried about this. Because if people start starving, they're going to get very, very cranky very soon. Especially when it gets colder. So hunter's gear is researched. So let's go and grab. I think we need to increase our generator's heating range. So I need to get this, the generator range upgrade. But we need to upgrade to our level 1 tech, which is we just kind of get some drawing boards. I don't know why we need to research drawing boards. Sounds pretty self-explanatory to me. But hey. What do I know? What do I know? So, since we have so many trees out here, I think we're going to focus on just building a lot of sawmills all the way around, pretty much. we can introduce a new law. So let's go ahead into adaptation here. So we could get radical treatment. Radical treatment discontent will rise slightly, but hope will also rise. Now sustain life, hope will rise, so will discontent. So they both kind of do the same, but it kind of dictates what type of route you want to go down. Now I tend to do it's kind of 50-50 for me. I'd either do sustain life or radical treatment depending on how I feel. Now for this, I think we're going to go with sustain life, because right after this we can build a care house and we can just kind of kick them out of the facility and just kind of let them sit in the care house until we get something figured out for them. So I think that's what we're going to do. So the discontent rises a little bit because they are, if they can't be helped, so why give them false hope? What the hell would you want us to do to them, Dorothy? Just want us to, 86 them and get rid of them? I don't think that's the right thing to do there, but... but like I said, hey, what do I know? Another coal deposit. How many coal mines is that? 3? Boy, we're going to have so much more coal than we know what to do with. So let's grab the generator range upgrade. We need more food. We need more food than anything, so let's build another hunter's hut. Right here. Just kind of continue around with this. And then I'm gonna have to steal. I've got 10 unemployed workers, so I'll have to steal those from somewhere. Your storage is near capacity. Which one is it? It's probably coal. Yeah, coal. Alright, so now we're at free time. They'll start building this. I wonder why it's only working at 53% efficiency. That's kind of bothersome. Oh, there's 6 people building and 1's in treatment. Okay, then it goes straight back up to 93. Alright. That's acceptable. So we've got 10 people in the hunter's hut. Ten workers at the gathering post. I'm going to take away 5 of you. And I'm going to focus the rest of you guys on food. That's the most important. Oh, geez. Yeah, we're running out of food. These guys need to get some food hella quick. This is not good. This is not good. So this game, I mean, I'm not even on the hardest setting. And, I mean, look at how little food we have. We should probably have signed the soup law. We're gonna have to do that. I totally forgot. We're gonna have to sign the soup law, and we're going to, spread this food out as far as we can. But right now, we're going to experience a temperature drop from -20. I think it's gonna hit -30 in about an hour. So, good luck, people. Hopefully, you guys stay warm. And here it comes. It's going to hit any second now. Right at the beginning of the workday. Oh, alright, so let's pause this real quick where we can assign a new law. We are getting the soup now. Even though, look at how much hope drops. Just because you say, yeah, we're going to start making soup. Wouldn't soup kind of raise your hopes? I mean, it's nice and warm, and it just kind of just warms the soul and the mind and the soul up. But I guess these people don't like that. So let's just go ahead and keep going. Oh yeah, discontent rose a fair bit because everybody's upset about soup. Said, I hate soup. All my life it's been thin gruel and empty promises. Huh. Alright. Well, I mean, would you rather have soup or no food? Pick one. Alright, So what else do we have? I need to build a beacon and start sending some scouts out places, but I don't have enough workers everywhere. So I think I'm gonna build a beacon over here. This building's also not affected by any type of cold. It'll work just fine. Just a big old hot air balloon. So I'm just gonna check our economy. We are gaining plenty of coal. Food, we're actually technically gaining food rations. I don't know how that's true, but whatever. So we have one citizen in treatment. Everything else is doing just fine. So let's just go ahead and 3-speed this because we've got a lot of stuff waiting to be built. And we're almost to day 6. Oh, okay, so we've got our generator range upgrade. So let's go ahead and look at our other research we can get. I think we're actually running low on steel, so I gotta keep my eye on that. I don't know if we're making any right now. So generator power upgrade. So that would be a good one. Resources. We could upgrade our sawmill, get more wood, but we've got plenty of wood for now. Medical post. I think we'll build a hothouse. This is going to kind of give us a little a nice steady 30 raw food per day. But it is going to use one of our precious steam cores. Now steam cores are kind of a unique and very rare resource in this game. Now you can't produce them in your city because they're super intricate pieces of machinery. Now you can only find them, at least in this game mode, in the Frostland. Now you just kind of got to get lucky and find some, but there are tons of buildings and other things that you can do with the steam cores, and I love building the automatons. And I can't wait till we get our first one. It really makes the city just so steampunk. It's perfect. So we're going to kind of finish this work day out. Only got a couple hours. Wood crates depleted where? So here, all we've got is pretty much 10 steel. So we are making a little bit, but we're not going to have a whole lot left after this. So I think I'm going to build a steel mill. Go ahead and grab resources. Where is it? There it is. We're going to grab the steelworks. I think we're going to plop this down right here. So do we have more than one steelworks? I certainly hope we do. Coal. Oh, okay, good. We've got another steel deposit over here, so that's fine. Our research guys are waiting on me. So we can build a hothouse now, that's good. So now I think we're going to get generator power upgrade, but I'm not going to turn that on yet, because I don't need to spend the extra coal. Alright, so we've built the beacon. Now we can send people out into the Frostland, which is going to be really good. I like to watch this thing go up. It's a pretty neat little animation here. They just kind of heat up the hot air balloon, and it just sends it up. And there it goes. Our beacon is finally complete. Now it's getting a little blurry. But, yep, that's the beacon. It's just a little, pretty much an airborne lighthouse. So let's go into the Frostland. Now this map is different than the one I played on. Totally different. I don't remember any of this frozen river. So let's see, we've got the windswept snowfield. Snow-covered supplies. Boy, that's really descriptive. We've got the rock formation. Or the radio station. So I think we're going to send people to the radio station because hopefully I can get more people here. It says there's like a shack underneath it. So maybe we'll find some survivors there. Who knows? So let's steal the last 5 workers out of here. So now we only have 1 gathering post. So these guys are gone. We need 40 wood and 5 workers. So we've got 1 set of scouts. And sending them to the radio station. And they'll get there in a day, in 3 hours. So let's just fast forward through all of this. We've got a decent amount of food now, so I think we're plenty good on food now. I need more workers. That's the biggest issue there. Biggest issue with your city early on is you really tend to start to spread yourself thin. And that's kind of the reason why that child labor law is a very enticing. Because right now, I would be able to have more workers and engineers. Because say, for example, I signed child labor, I'd have children working in the cookhouse. You could even have them working in the gathering post. I don't know how the gathering post is a safe job. It sounds pretty dangerous to be working out in the cold, just gathering piles of steel and wood and coal. Boy, that sounds fun. But just sounds like a good character building experiment to me. Alright, sawmill hasn't really been doing a whole lot. There's still over almost 2100 lumber here. So I don't think we're going to need wood for a while. I think that's going to be okay. Oh, I hate that. If you zoom out too far on the scroll wheel, it just goes straight to the Frostland. Alright, and we're going to keep going on. Keep going here. Yep. Alright, so right now we actually just hit a warm spell, so the temperature's actually going to go up here. So obviously everything's going to warm up. Yep, all of our buildings except for the ones out here are pretty much comfortable. Zero risk of getting sick. All the workplaces are livable, so I'm completely fine with that. We're just going to fast forward through this. We've got a new book of laws we can sign. Steel wreckage completed. That's good. So we've only got 10 people here. This actually has no more resources. So I'm going to dismantle that building and then tell you guys to come over here. I need more workers. I need to get the steel mill started. Well, hell, it's not even connected to the generator. So let's grab this road all the way out to here. So we've got a decent amount of food now, so I think we could take some workers away from the food area. So now here, like right here, we can build the care house. The care house is going to essentially be a spot to keep all of your gravely ill people, and that's what I want to do. Because I don't want to totally make them useless yet. Keyword yet. So, care house is actually under the health. We'll grab you there. So since I'm having to build kind of like in this circle deal going around like this, I think that I'm going to kind of expand our housing section out this way and this way to keep our steam hubs kind of centrally located. Nice and organized, that's how it needs to be. So like I said, I'm going to take 5 people away from here. 5 people away from there. Throw you in the steelworks. Even though it's going to only be work at half efficiency, it's still better than 0. Alright, so this is finished. Let's go ahead and there's this technology right here, hunting tactics, where you get your hunter's huts essentially use less workers and produce the same amount of food. So we're going to kind of beeline for that, and we're going to get an extra 15 workers out of these hunter's huts, and they're going straight into the steel mill. And I think the next one is going to be a coal mine, because this coal laying over here on the ground isn't going to last forever, because we've only got 155 just laying over here on the ground. It looks like our scouts will actually be at the radio mast in pretty much 5 hours. So, care house promise fulfilled, hope rises. That's good, that's good, that's good. Everything's proceeding quite nicely, but I really shouldn't say that because this game has a tendency to really screw you over when you least expect it. Alright, and the scouts are pretty much almost to the radio station. At least I think it was a radio station. Yeah, a radio station. Let's just fast forward until they get there. And they are there. Alright, well, I think we'll be able to find out what this, what's going to be at the radio station in the next one. So if you guys did like, if you guys stayed with me all the way until the end of this video, I know it's been a long one, but I appreciate it. And if you could like and subscribe if you liked what you saw, and let me know what you thought about the video in the comments. And if you've got any suggestions or want to see me do anything special, please let me know, and I will catch you guys in the next one.